And we're back with the Opie and Anthony program. It's Whip 'em Out Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Get ready for spring. Get your WOW stickers now, people. Unless you live in a nice warm climate, then you're enjoying the benefits of WOW. But send a self-addressed stamped envelope to us here in New York City. We'll get you a WOW sticker. The address is on our website, opieandanthony.com. Yes, Anthony?
Has Ricky jumped off the Verrazano Bridge yet?
Nah, I walked out there and calmed him down a little bit.
You did?
Yeah.
Weren't you the one saying?
Yeah. You should have called me, Than. I calmed him down a little bit.
Called me.
He's very sad. I'm like, dude, relax. Just enjoy yourself here.
Yeah, have fun.
You're going nowhere in the business, but at least you should enjoy your time here.
She loves the taste of communion wafers. Father.
Anyway.
I'm not a father anymore.
So what's going on with this guy? What's his name?
Shannon Burke.
Shannon Burke.
I've never heard that name on a man, but I'm sure it's all right. He's
out
of Orlando, and XM, I guess, has booted him off, and he's like blaming O&A.
Yeah, how are we involved with this guy?
Well, the latest news on us, we're getting off the premium channel, which is huge news for the Opie and Anthony program.
Yay!
We never wanted to be on the premium channel, but we knew XM was the place to be. And we chose to, accept what XM was going to give us, which was our show on a premium channel. But
we knew in the long run we'd be off of it.
Yeah, it was kind of like we had to do our time and prove to people that we weren't these quote shock jocks that the media likes to make us out to be.
We're not making any trouble.
So we did our time knowing all along that eventually they would probably take us off this premium channel.
Right.
As far as being on the premium channel, because a lot of people are trying to spin it all sorts of ways out there in the media, we did very, very well on the premium channel.
Yeah.
Extremely well. We did twice the numbers that XM wanted us to do, matter of fact.
Yeah, they had their little plan. I remember when we first started meeting with them, they had all kinds of studies and research done and estimates of how many people would sign up, and we broke those.
We doubled it.
Yeah.
Simple as that, we doubled it. By the end of the year, they wanted a certain amount that we're not even allowed to mention on the air for whatever reason. I don't know if it has something to do with the stock or what. I don't know. But there's a number that they wanted us to do. We doubled it. I swear to God we doubled it. So we did much better than anyone expected down there in Washington. So now they want to take it to the next level. And that's to get us off the premium channel, have us exposed to the entire XM Nation. Of course, not everyone on the XM Nation is going to listen to the program, but we're going to gain a lot of listeners because now we'll just be, available while you're just spinning around your unit there, right?
Right.
And then what happens is a bunch of those people are going to get hooked. That's why we call it spread the virus. It kind of just is this thing that happens. All of a sudden, you get hooked on the show, and then what do? If it's normal listening patterns, you turn your friends on to it. You're like, oh my God, you got to hear these guys. Never heard of them before, but they're on XM. They're Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Those people, if they don't have XM, will go out and buy XM because now they're curious. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. And that's how this show has always worked, and it's gonna be huge again. We know that. So it's huge news that we're getting off the premium. But assholes out there like to spin it another way.
And what makes me want to spit in somebody's face like this, because what's so annoying is they know better. It's like when you're taking off the premium channel, that's XM's way of going, all right, you two are not going to self-destruct. Because, again, they were afraid that there's going to be all this shit that causes you to self-destruct. You're not going to self-destruct. We're putting you you're kind of one of the staple shows of the entire network. Why? How can anybody think that's negative?
Yeah.
What do you think XM's going to make more money on? $2 a month? Or by raising everything and having a certain advertising possibly, you fucking idiot, and you know better. You local yokel.
Right.
Fucking one market wonder.
So this guy in Orlando, Shannon Burke, I guess he was heard on XM, and they're taking him off XM because, quite frankly, there's not enough room. XM only has a certain amount of channels, so they got rid of Liquid Metal, unfortunately, which was a great station, but they had no choice, because they just don't have room for everything they want to throw, on the service.
And they look at the channels that if they have to replace something, if they're putting in a new show, they look at the channels, and what do you think they do? Do they take a channel that's really popular and eliminate that to add something new? Or do they take a channel that maybe not that many people are listening to and take it off? I would tend to think it's the latter. I think they do their research, find out, they're not going to take the 80s station off the air and put something on there because a lot of people listen to it. But someone like Shannon Burke's show is completely expendable because no one was listening to this. This is the first I've ever heard of this guy. And it's not that old radio gag where you say you never heard of the guy. I've never heard of this guy.
And that's why he's being dumped, because they have to make room for other people that have bigger names in the business. That's
Which is
simple as that.
Everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And as far as us being failures, because I think he says that either on his show or in an email or something.
You mean professionally or in life?
Huh? Well, I'm a failure in my personal life. I openly admit that. but as far as a radio guy, I've done quite well, and we'll continue doing quite well, and we'll be here. Mm-hmm. Here's a little fact for Shannon and everyone else out there. If we're such a disaster, XM has the choice to get rid of us in about 3 or 4 months. So we'll just see what happens, Shannon, if we're really a failure, or if they're going to pick up the rest of our contract. Okay? We'll just have to wait and see on that.
Won't we?
Won't we? So here's Shannon talking on his show. He's all depressed because XM is just getting rid of him.
They're booting him. He's fat and they're trimming him.
Bye.
Here's Ray in Virginia. Ray, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Shannon?
What's happening, brother?
Hey, first-time caller. I got up about 6 months ago. I was in Florida. I heard you guys about the XM.
Excellent.
Came Christmas last year. I bought 10 trucks. I bought each one an XM radio. Now, I heard yesterday you guys, after the 28th, you guys ain't going to be there anymore?
Yeah, you'll be entertained by the fabulous Tony Kornheimer, whatever his name is, and it's Kornheimer Sports Show or something like that, and then the great G. Gordon Libby.
All right, let me stop right there. Tony and G. Gordon Liddy are two radio personalities that have a much bigger following than Shannon Burke, and that's why this is happening. Shannon
Burke. If you had an audience, you'd still be there. They would have taken off a show that had less of an audience than you did. It's just the way it works. No one was listening to you. Jack off.
How embarrassing is that, though? To be on XM and then just to have like a couple of new guys come along and they just kind of kick you off.
Ugh.
Beat it, stupid.
Well, they have bigger followings. That's how it works in the business. And that's how it's going to continue to work. And when we get off the premium, I think we're even going to expand our channel. It's not going to be us all day long. I think we're going to try to do some other things in some of the other time slots.
Oh, maybe Shannon can come on.
No, Shannon's not on our list, unfortunately, no.
Shannon.
There's a whole list of people we want to be involved in this channel.
But what about
Shannon? That have a much bigger following than Shannon.
I don't know about that.
Shannon's a self-important loser who thinks he's got a lot more listeners than he does.
Yeah, after I heard that, I called customer service, and I told them to cancel my service. I got 1 more month with them. I got 10 radios working on 10 big trucks, 18-wheelers.
Yeah.
So after next month, if you guys don't come out anymore, I got 10 radios that are going to be canceled.
All right, let me tell you something about radio. You know, Anthony and I have a huge, faithful audience. Mm-hmm. The reality is this guy will continue listening to XM Satellite Radio.
Of course he will. Of course he will.
Continue listening to XM Satellite Radio.
Cancel my 10 radios.
Yeah, he's going to go out and cancel his 10 radios because he can't hear the Shannon Burke show anymore.
Shannon Burke show.
And then he's going to eat the actual physical units? What are you going to do, just look at them in the truck like dinosaurs? They're not going to work anymore, you asshole? You're not canceling XM.
Of course you're not.
And if you do, who cares? Drunk drive into a pole. Yeah, nobody cares about you and your shitty fleet of trucks.
The guy's being very dramatic, but the reality is he's not going to be canceling because one show is being kicked off the service.
What a tool. I'll hit them in their pocketbooks, Shannon.
Right.
Yuck.
You know how many people listen to us, but they also listen to a bunch of other things on XM Satellite Radio? You know, so if we were gone, I think it would take us being gone and then maybe like 3 or 4 of their favorite, other channels to be gone, and then they would finally go, you know what? Hey, this isn't what, I got, it's not the same.
Yeah.
As when I got to XM to begin with. So I'm going to cancel.
You'd still listen.
You still listen. We're not that important.
Format.
One show's not that important.
I don't know about that.
Shannon Burke is, obviously. He's important.
$9.99.
Oh, sorry.
He's so important that he was completely expendable and thrown off the platform.
A month, that's about $1,200 a year.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Ray. And thanks for the support, man. All we can do is just, call XM, be nice to them, and they'll, there's a chance they might move us somewhere else.
That'll work.
Yeah, I tried that for about 2 weeks, but After I heard yesterday, just wanted to call in and see if the other drivers want to do something like that.
And here's the deal. I think it's, at this point, I've heard enough people say it, and I think the deal is they have another service available during the time the show is on, and it's a premium channel that a couple other guys are on.
Now he's talking about yours truly, Opie and Anthony.
Here comes the bidder.
Can I just say that I do hope Eric Logan is listening, because if you are, man, I just want you to be careful, because this guy has got a trucker with 10 trucks who might be canceling the service. You may want to reconsider, because I know it sounds like Shannon Burke is groveling and begging and saying call customer service and be nice to them, and maybe they'll put us somewhere else. Gee whiz. They are putting you somewhere else, off the platform. Back in Orlando, motherfucker. That's where they're putting you. Back in the one market you started in.
Yeah, it's good to be big in one market.
Sure it is.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
But you pretty much failed on a national platform, and that's why you're gone. You're face reality.
Very popular at the Magic home games, aren't you, stupid? That's the guy from the Shannon Burke show. Who? I talk in my radio voice, and I'm on a national platform. Call them, beg, grovel, and say please, and threaten to cancel your
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the Orlando Magic basketball game, let's hear it for Shannon Burke as he throws some T-shirts out into the audience.
People are looking around going, who's she?
Shannon? Who? What?
Shannon Burke? That chick?
All right, well, here's he starts talking about us and this premium channel.
Yeah. Because the deal is they have another service available during the time the show is on, and it's a premium channel that a couple other guys are on, and nobody's signing up for it because they're just too entertained by this show.
All right, listen.
All right, okay, that's really good.
I'm sick of people. You want to attack us, that's fine, but why don't you base it on some form of reality? The reality is, and if you do work for XM Satellite Radio, Shannon, or did, I think you're finally gone, you would know that the channel has been very, very successful for the company, you asshole.
He knows that, dude. Bottom line is, he's getting the boot, he's begging his listeners, and bottom line is this, you have to explain, if you catch your wife sleeping with somebody else, you have to explain why she's doing that. You can't just go, I'm a failure in bed.
Right.
So you have to blame her. Well, she wanted the guy with the bigger dick. You can't say that, so you have to make an excuse. Here's the bottom line. You know the deal, stupid. No one cares about your show. And sorry, you failed.
I like how he's trying to say that we don't have listeners because they're all listening to him. Is that's what he was saying?
Oh, really?
They're too entertained by his program.
I'll go back.
Yeah, listen, he's actually saying that we are failing here because he's got so many listeners. They're so entertained by him that they're not coming over to us. This is that self-important ass who is being kicked off. He's been kicked off because he doesn't have listeners.
I think at this point, I've heard enough people say it, and I think the deal is they have another service available during the time the show is on, and it's a premium channel that a couple other guys are on, and nobody's signing up for it because they're just too entertained by this show. So what I think they're doing...
entertained by this show.
Wait, so they're not signing up for Opie and Anthony because they're too entertained by him.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is get rid of him, and then people will sign up for you, but then they take you off the premium channel, so even by getting rid of him, no one's going to sign up. What the fuck are you talking about, stupid? Do you understand this is why they're kicking you off? Because you stink. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is why Anthony and I do not hang out with other radio guys. Because they're all full of
like
shit.
This. They're all like Shannon Burke.
Except for like Scott Farrell and Ron and Fez. And honestly, Sean Hannity has been a stand-up guy through our whole career.
But
Don Imus has been cool to us, But in general, these guys are all just full of themselves.
There's a premium service that everyone is avoiding because they're enjoying my show, so they're going to take me off and then cancel the premium service and then cancel. So what they're doing is they're losing premium service revenue. They're keeping you two losers, and they're kicking off this hot commodity. Smart move by XM. What a jizz bucket.
And this guy is just begging for his job back. Please be respectful when contacting XM. Remember, we're trying to stay on XM.
What was it, Shannon Burke? Does anyone know his website? We'll give you a plug, Shannon. The biggest plug you've ever gotten you'll get right now. Do you know his plug, Hawk?
Shannon.wtks.com.
Wait, Shannon.wtks.com. And maybe listeners can email Shannon and be supportive of his plight.
Be respectful when you go on the website. Remember, he's a tool.
Army attack. Anthony, the rest of his little commentary.
By this show. So what I think they're doing is trying to bore the crap out of you with every other talk programming on XM. So you'll be forced to pay the premium money to get the premium channel.
So.
Yeah, but the guys are all washed up. I used to hear them when I used to go to New York.
They are.
There.
They are. XM missed the boat with them, but hey, I appreciate the support, Ray, and hopefully you'll hear us again.
So the guy, wait, we're washed up?
We're employed here at XM under contract, doing very well. You're fired from XM.
But we're washed up.
We're washed up.
Did you read the email he got? What was this guy, Red Sox fan from Whackbag or something?
Yeah.
I guess sent Shannon an email. It probably wasn't pleasant, but the response he got, you have it?
Oh, yes. Yes. This is Shannon's email reply.
Email reply.
You sound like... And he can't write, I guess. You sound like whiny little pussy. Man up, you little crybaby.
I bet he says it on a show a lot 'cause he's like a biker.
Come on, man up.
Man up. It's probably like one of his catchphrases.
Man up.
And the Democrats said, man up, Democrats, man up.
And everyone claps because it's a catchphrase.
I hear he's like a real conservative. He's probably one of those brass tacks guys. Meat and potatoes. Yuck.
Man up, you little crybaby. Email me back when you have the #1 rated show in any market. Yeah, because everybody that emails him should have a radio show.
I guess he's #1 in Orlando. It's pretty impressive.
Is he? Is he?
Don't know. I don't know if he is, but I do think that at the Orlando Magic game it must be, like Ope said, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Burke.
O&A are shitty. Are shitty XM failures who can't bring enough subs for a premium channel. Oh, hold on to your hats. Dopey and asshole. Wow.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Dopey and asshole. I swear his originality ought to get him rehired. I've never heard that.
I gotta say, because Opie rhymes with dopey and asshole and Anthony both start with
an A. That's a good one.
SB, that's Shannon Burke. That also stands for Stop Begging. You're thrown off, motherfucker. Take the link off your website.
Yeah, like it always works when you beg to get your job back and try to get your listeners to email the station. That trick always works, doesn't it? It's a desperate move from a loser.
We didn't fail as a premium channel.
He knows that.
You know, there's another thing that was brought into consideration here as far as the direction of our show. When Howard signed with Sirius, XM had to rethink things, don't you think? You idiot.
And this was XM, I think, my opinion is it was XM's way of saying, yes, you guys are the counterbalance to that move. Yeah, that's a real insult. That's a real failure.
Yeah.
Dope.
Shannon Burke. Dopey and asshole do not have hardly any audience anymore. Oh, my God.
Dude, you're in New York. I mean, so what? You're on in L.A. and D.C. and Philadelphia. Or I should just say every market in the entire country.
Yeah.
But you don't have Orlando in the palm of your hand like he does.
Well. By the way, I was never nationally syndicated, you idiot. I was simulcast on XM. That's not syndication. But I wouldn't expect an O&A moron like you to understand. Your pal, he sounds like your pal.
Oh, he's
Shannon.
crazy. But the funny thing is he's really mad at the guy for writing the email and assuming that he was once successful. Yeah. I was never nationally syndicated, you idiot. I've always been a one market zero.
I've always been a failure.
Wait to explain
right
yourself. God damn it, I've never had the talent to be interesting in more than one market, and apparently not even one. That's dope.
The premium channel.
Yeah, but the guys are all washed up. I used to hear them when I used to go to New York.
They are.
There.
XM missed the boat with them, but hey, I appreciate the support, Ray, and hopefully you'll hear us again.
And he has a link on his website, or at least he had it, with emails to XM, and it says, please be respectful when contacting XM. Remember, and he spells remember without the, it's R-E-M-E-B, so it's remember, you dumb stuffy-nosed idiot.
Remember.
We're trying to stay on XM. So the XM failures are now still on XM, and the XM success, who I was never nationally syndicated, you idiot, has been kicked off. You're a double-talking ass.
Let's see what kind of job our non-existent audience... How many did he say?
I don't know.
Like, no listeners. Let's see how our non-existent audience feels about that. Let them email and go to his website and check it out.
And be supportive of this guy. He's trying to stay on XM.
All right. Well, instead of hearing Shannon Burke on Extreme 152, XM 152. You get to hear the Monsters of the Morning, Tony Kornheiser, who's very, very talented, G. Gordon Liddy, the Phillips File Show, I guess. I never heard of him. The Phil Hendry Show, very talented guy.
Hey, what channel is that?
And the David Lawrence Show. Those are all the talk shows that beat out Shannon Burke.
So is Monsters of the Midday still on?
They're on 152, I guess, when we're